if you're able to have an impact on anybody's life, whether it's just briefly bringing them, when you listen to music, bringing them to a place of, like I said, peace of mind, or taking them somewhere creatively that they weren't before. If you can have sort of impact like that on somebody's life, even if it's for a split second, I just feel like, you can feel good about that.
You just turn this one dial and you're tuned in perfectly.
So I am New Vintage. My real name's Tommy, and I came up with that name. Kind of the reason behind it is kind of describes my style of beat making and production. I've always had a passion for older music, and just kind of worked with it, and out of that I created something newer and contemporary. I'm from Pleasanton, California. I currently live in Dublin, but I've been in the East Bay my whole life. So my older brother came home one day. I was 14. I was a freshman in high school, and he was in college. So my brother one day came home, brought home a demo CD of Fruity Loops, and I popped it in. At the time I didn't have any desire to start making beats. I wasn't sitting around. I never thought to myself, hey, I'm thinking about making some music. That never came across my mind. But I plugged the demo tape in, or the demo CD, and started messing with the program, and I just got hooked. I really just got hooked. It was just something that, when you're doing something and the next thing you know, it's been 4 hours and it felt like 15 minutes, you know that you have a passion for something. I basically just locked myself in my room. I remember specifically my dad just yelling at me to do my homework. Like, yeah, Dad, I'm for sure I'm doing my homework. I'm in there just doing beats for 4 hours straight. So, I have a vinyl record collection that I sample from a lot, and I would go dig for records all over the Bay Area. Most of the time in Berkeley, at Rasputin's or Amoeba. But also, it took me down to the South Bay. There was this record shop called Big Al's Record Barn, and hands down the dopest record store I've been to in the Bay Area. Just floor to ceiling vinyl, in no particular order really. It's just kind of scattered around, but sometimes, if I was in Berkeley one day, get a record, bring it home, sometimes I just have that in my mind, walking down Telegraph or something, and that just kind of provides a sense of inspiration when you make a beat. How would I describe my sound? I would say it's soulful. It can be jazzy, laid back. I sample from a pretty wide variety of music, from soul, jazz, gospel, obscure foreign stuff. But I would definitely say my beats are a little more on the laid back side. What influenced my specific style of beat making? Definitely, in particular, Jay Dilla, the Donuts album, and Ninth Wonder. When I first started making beats, I think this is the reason why those two guys are so influential, is because when I first started making beats in high school, that's when Little Brother's Minstrel Show came out, which I was obsessed with that album. And then Jay Dilla's Donuts, my brother put me onto both of those, and that was the first time I really started paying attention to the producer, or I wanted to know who made that beat, because I had just started making beats myself, so I just kind of naturally went that way. But anyway, the Minstrel Show, Ninth Wonder killed the production on that, and I listened to that album just through and through just had it on repeat, and then I had no idea he used Fruity Loops, and so when I did find that out, that definitely would add to the whole thing. Like, damn, like this guy's making that using the same thing I'm using. Like, I thought for sure he was on an MPC or something. So it definitely added to it, and just kind of inspired me. Like, dude, if he can make that using Fruity Loops, then I gotta put some more work in, because my stuff's not sounding anything like that. First started making beats, I had this assumption that everybody used MPCs, because that's all I would see. I'd look up YouTube videos on YouTube of beat making videos, and I would see people on MPCs, and for the longest time I wanted an MPC, but I just got so used to Fruity Loops that I just stuck with it. Yeah, my setup is very simplistic. It's very pretty minimalistic. I just have the MIDI keyboard, my laptop, which has Fruity Loops on it, and most of the time vinyl. I have a USB turntable that I just record the vinyl straight to my computer. I don't only sample off of vinyl. I go off the internet, really anywhere I can, CDs. To me, it doesn't really matter. I can draw inspiration from any source of music. With my latest beat tape that I put out, I've been trying different sounds, approaching a sample in a way that I maybe never would have thought before, being open-minded with it, and that can be either just the way you speed it up, slow it down, the effects you add to it. I'm trying different things and just kind of seeing what happens. Let's see what I got, man. I really like the beginning part. That middle part was sick too, but
you know, after I put some beats on Bandcamp or SoundCloud, and people create or email you or just let you know that your music inspired them to do something else creatively, inspired some sort of creative process. I've had people send me artwork that they've done to my beats while listening to my beats. Just stuff like that, man, when I feel like something I created inspired somebody else to do something creative. It's a satisfying feeling, so that's kind of what keeps me going.